Good day, everybody, and welcome to Sparkles of Love's Transmissions. Today is episode 46, and today we're going to talk in a few minutes about what is karma and how is it impacting me today. But I just want to let you know that Sparkles of Love, here at Sparkles of Love, our purpose is to bring through the newest and highest vibrations, tools, processes, and technologies to help you have an easier awakening, to accelerate your own awakening, and help you get out of the struggle of it all. So, all right. And so if you like our videos, we'd ask you to click the like button and subscribe, and so we can share some more. All right. Well, I did a video about 3 years ago, a short 3 minute on karma, and I was prompted to do something again because there's been a little bit of change, and I think it's time to get more information out. So first of all, karma is a concept that is in a few different religions. I know in Buddhism and Hinduism, it's very prominent in spirituality. And what most people think of karma, I think, is that it's that old expression, what goes around comes around, that it is like what you put out comes back to you. Okay. And I know that for many people, that's how they view karma. Okay. But my guides talk about it in a different way. And for many people, though not always, they perceive karma as a negative thing, right? That it's bad karma happening. Okay. But my guides call it something else. They call it past life energetic residue. So, past life energetic residue, or plur, is quite different. It means that you have unfinished business, that things didn't get quite balanced in that particular lifetime. And normally, though not always, it's very often what you would refer to as a negative situation. Um, and it's contracts or agreements that never got completed in that lifetime. So there is this residue of energy left that still hangs around. Okay. And if any of you have had examples in your life where something felt, well, I'll just say the old term karmic, where it felt like you knew someone or you had a bad experience or a bad feeling about a place or a person, I'd love to hear about it. So if you want to write in, and then I'll read them after. And for many people, um, it's some people perceive karma as punishment, that if you did something bad in other times and spaces, it's coming back to haunt you and all of that. And for me, and for what I've learned now, is that it is that energetic residue, past life energetic residue. And so I want you to think about it in that terminology, in that manner, before we before we go any further on this. So I'm going to be talking about it in those kinds of terms. So how does it impact you? So what? You have unfinished agreements, or you have past life energetic residue with someone. Well, depending on who that is, it can really impact your daily life. Okay? It can really impact your daily life. And often with past life energetic residue, often you have strong feelings, usually not positive, towards another, right? You meet someone and you just don't like them. Gee, they're really pleasant. They're really nice to you. They don't say anything that's off. But for some reason, you're just like, They don't, it doesn't feel right, right? You just don't like them. I call it, you feel scrunchy, right? You feel scrunchy, like those hair things. And it's really difficult when someone like that happens to be your boss at work. You get a new boss, got along great with your last boss, you get a new boss, and all of a sudden things don't feel right, right? And now you realize, oh, not only do I'm working with him now, I know this soul from another time and space, and it did not end well. There is unfinished business. Um, and very often that unfinished business, that past life energetic residue, it makes you feel irrational. You feel irrational and out of control. It's often very triggering. And if you're not awake, if you're not aware of what past life energetic residue is or even karma, then it's really confusing, right? Because it doesn't make sense in the here and now, in the 3D, because they may be very pleasant, they're saying all the right things, but you just have your backup. It just feels off, it feels wrong. Okay. And, if it's someone that you don't see very often, maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe it's your neighbor who lives way down the street and they're only here 6 months of the year and you never run into them anyway. Okay. So that's not the same kind of big deal as if it's your boss or, you know, your one of your in-laws or maybe someone else that you know, right? So depending on how close the relationship is the more it's going to impact you, the more it's going to feel that. And and the interesting thing is you don't always feel it right away. I had a situation in my life many years ago where I had a boss I got along with really well. We worked well together, and a friend of mine came and was there for the weekend and met my boss and said, "Oh my God, do you ever have a lot of common with that person?" And it is not the good stuff. And they're out, they're gonna get you this lifetime. And I'm like, whoa. And it was, and I didn't feel that way at all. Well, it showed up. It definitely showed up. And and it was true. It was absolutely true. There was all kinds of stuff going on. Um, but anyway, it can also show up as feeling you owe someone. Okay. So you have a strong commitment to help someone. Okay. Like you have this responsibility and it doesn't even make sense to you. Right. And that's often what happens is it doesn't make sense to you in the here and now. It just doesn't add up. But you feel this strong pull in your heart that, wow, I really need to help this person. I have no idea why. They're not related to me. I barely know them, but boy, do I feel this. And and so it's interesting when that happens or when it feels later. Okay. And the other thing that's interesting with past life energetic residue or karma is that it can be one way. So just because you feel it doesn't mean the other person does. They may feel it as well, but they may not. I had a situation a number of years ago when I was co-facilitating a spiritual event. And I had this participant who I just adored and loved, and she was triggered at the yin yang by me, and not on purpose. And hadn't cleared her karma with me. She still had real um, open-ended contracts that she hadn't from other times and spaces that were impacting her relationship with me. But I had already cleared it all a long time ago. And so all I did was feel love for her. And so that was another sort of interesting way that it showed up. Have you ever had examples, or can you write in some examples where you felt there was a karmic relationship or still some energy left from a past life? If you want to write that in, that would be great. And someone's asking, can you remove karma by yourself Or do both people need to release it together? Great question. I've probably just answered that unknowingly. No, you can do, oops, pardon me today. You can release your own end of it. They don't even have to be alive, and they don't have to know about it. You're doing this for you. Okay. Now, the funny thing is, very often when you do those kinds of clearings, you'll hear from them. It's like on some level, they feel something shifted. So, um, yeah. So, if anybody wants to share their karmic story, I'd love to hear about it, um, because sometimes knowing examples. So, it's often I have felt it, in places. I've felt energetic, um, residue left from a particular place that didn't feel comfortable to me, and I have certainly felt it with people, right? I have felt what you say. I look at them as life lessons and grow and learn. Yes, yes, that's a good way to do. I've read them, resonating. Oh my goodness, I feel energies. Thank you for info for empaths. That's helps. Yeah. Um, I think I might have cleared it so well I can't remember my karmic stories. And someone says their ex-husband. Yeah. Yeah. Very often. There is karmic ties, right? To people close to you because um, you've you're from a family of souls, and you've played different roles with one another, right? Christian and I obviously have had karmic ties, and we have cleared all of that past life energetic stuff. So our relationship is the here and now, right? And that's why you want to clear this past life energetic residue. I think most of us want to have good relationships with other people, but you want it to be about here and now. You don't want it to be about 4 lifetimes ago when they killed you and you never forgave them, or, whatever the story was, that things weren't completed. So it lets you be in the here and now. And I talked to a client recently that had felt some really strong ties with someone she met, like really, really strong. And I could feel and see the karmic bonds there. And And I said to her, I said, "You really should clear all of that stuff." And it was all very good stuff for this individual. But I said, "You really need to clear all that up, because how much of that, what you're feeling, is from another time and space, especially when you love someone, when you've been in a deep romantic or relationship or partnership in other times and spaces, and you meet them here and now, and the attraction and the energy can be off the charts. But is it only from the past, and what's still left? And what is it still valid here and now, right? Um, so in terms of clearing karmic or past life energetic residues, we're going to put a link here after the live goes up on YouTube, and to my website, and I will gift you a recording I did a few years ago that is really powerful. You can use it as many times as you want, on as many people and relationships as you want. And what it does is it takes us up to a higher viewpoint. So you get to see what happened, so that you can move through it and clear all the karma. And well, you don't have to clear good past karma, right? You don't have to clear that. But in this particular circumstances, I did suggest at least clearing and looking at it to see how much was here and now, right? How much was still here and now? Because this person was making huge life choices based on feelings in a very short period of time that were from other times and spaces. So, yeah. So that's why sometimes, even when it's the good stuff, you really want to take a look at it. Yeah. And so I'm going to gift it. So there will be a link to my website to download the karma clearing. It's about 40 minutes. You can listen to it as many times as you want, and it really works. You may find that if you have a lot of past life energetic residue with someone, that you have to do it multiple times, right? And you can leave a few days between. I think originally it said leave a week between, but you don't have to anymore. That was in other energies. You can do it, every couple of days if you wish. And when we do gatherings, spiritual gatherings with the alchemy, we ask everyone to clear their karma or their past life energetic residue with myself and all of the ground crew and all the other attendees before they come. And it helps make the events go much, much smoother, because it's really not fun to show up at a week long event where you're all together and you meet someone for the first time, you shake their hand or you go to hug them and you go, oh no, I know you. Oh no, this is not good, right? That's just not, it's not good. It's not good. I also tell pregnant women to make sure you clear the past life energetic residue with the soul in your womb before they're born, because then it's going to make life a whole lot easier, and it's going to make it a whole lot life easier. And of course, if you start dating someone, you want to clear your past life with them, bosses, uh, maybe new neighbors, people that you're in closer relationships with, and your children, your parents, those kinds of things. And one person says, I feel everyone in our here and now are here for ascension, a karmic past. So I would say, right, we're all here. Everyone that's here now is here as part of the great awakening, the moving into the higher dimensions. And that is really another reason why you want to clear all this. We want to move into the higher dimensions, into whether you call it new earth or fifth dimension or higher, whatever you call the great awakening. I don't want to bring any of my old beliefs and old energies. And so that's why, for me, clearing up my beliefs, moving into as much sovereignty as I can, clearing up any past life stuff, I want to do all that now so that I can vibrate at a higher level here and now, and an easier transition for me, right? Less density. So I think now it is really, really, really important that we look at doing that, is clearing as much of our own wounds, as our past life energetic residue as possible, in preparation for what's coming and for the here and now, right? It's just, you feel lighter. It's just clearer energy. And the interesting thing is, about a year ago, the guides came through and we did a whole Saturday workshop on, it was called Dissolving Karmic Cycles Forever. And it's available on my website, sparklesoflove.love. And it's about 4.5 hours of recording. And it's really cool, because what happens is that there are different parts to it, but it sets it up that you don't accumulate any more karmic cycles or past life, any more energetic residue from the time you do the workshop onward and into your future lifetimes. So you still have to clean up what's left of the old stuff, but there is, in the workshop, there's a filter, a karmic grid, and a karmic healing chamber. And all of those are part of the workshop, so that you just feel lighter. It changes. You don't continue to create that energetic weight. Okay. And that's available in sparklesoflove.love in the shop. Okay. If people have transitioned, would clearing karma help with the next incarnation of each soul? Absolutely. Sometimes you've got that energetic past life residue with someone and feel the scrunchies, and then they've died. And maybe they were your parent, an aunt, an uncle, a neighbor, someone in an organization, and you never got to do that. You always felt around them. Sure. Even if they've transitioned, you're clearing your part. You go through the process in the recording that I'll gift you. And again, then you're clearing it. It helps you for future incarnations, and it makes it a little easier on their end as well. So I'm going to gift you that. Again, it will be listed below here once we get the rest of everything set up. And if you're interested in doing more of the work and not creating any new residue, energetic residue, and if you want to go deeper into clearing some of that, because some of us, when you start your spiritual journey, you might have a lot of it to clear. Some of you I know have already been doing a lot of work on it. And, it's sometimes it's just surprising when it shows up, right? So it depends on often how much you're out in the world. If you're out interacting with a lot of people, you may feel it more and feel the need to do it more. Or maybe you're just getting into a new relationship, or maybe you're just thinking about starting a family. You want to clear any of all that stuff so you have the here and now. Are there any questions? Any great, you've had lots of questions today, so thank you. Any other questions I can answer or any stories you want to share about karmic or past life experiences that you have had? I'll share one with Christian and I, who is now my husband, and because it does show some things. When I met him, I didn't feel any connection. Like there was no. I've never asked him if he felt that with me. I was the facilitator. He was coming to a retreat, and I didn't feel. There were lots of people there, and I didn't feel any particular connection with him. I didn't really talk to him very much that time, and it wasn't until the second time I met him when he came to the second gathering in Mexico, and when he was he got there, his flights were delayed, and he got there in the middle of the night before we started. So we first saw him at breakfast, and we all got up and gave him a hug when he came. And when he hugged me, I felt like I'd never been hugged like that before. I felt like I was home. It was the weirdest. It was delightful, but the weirdest expression. And I can remember saying to a dear friend of mine who was there, "Oh, this man gives the absolute best hugs." And she came up to me later and says, "No, he doesn't. That wasn't a very good hug." And I'm thinking, "Oh no, my hug was great." And the funny thing is, we are twin flames, but we never knew that for the first year. So when you think of so again, was there karmic, past life energetic residue between us and fulfilled or unbalanced karma? Yes. And contracts? Yes. But we didn't feel it right away, right? So you don't always feel it. All right. So a couple more comments here. You explained this the best I've heard to date. Much appreciated. Oh, thank you. You're very welcome. Great explanations. I have a I don't know what TF stands for. For the last 2 years, that's okay. I don't know what something that's 34 years younger. I don't know what TF stands for, so you have to let me know what TF. All right. So again, and when you look at the other thing I will say as we wrap up, when you look at past life energetic residue or past life connections, things like age. Oh, okay, a kundalini activation. Okay. Things like age and how you look and your color of your skin and your height and your language you speak and even what gender you are so not as important because there is this deep heart connection, right? Makes all the difference. All right. So thank you very much for being here today. You might want to take a look with clean eyes and see or feel around you where you have past life energetic residue still with people. And next week, what I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about how do you know when you're receiving divine guidance? Okay. So I think that one will be lots of fun as well. So thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe and like this video. Have a great week. Bye for now.